Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hi, sir.
It's been a while.
I'm good. It's been like a week or something.
Yeah, or by some time scales, it's been about 40 seconds since we've like really engaged with one another.
Yep, true. Also,
Oh man, I have so many things. Like this is a weird. I'll tell you right now, Nick. It's gonna be a little bit of a weird week. I just want to catch up on things. And I have things I want to show you. Some of them are a little bit more heartwarming than probably people would expect. Like I don't want to like, I don't want to tease too much, but like I'm excited for this week. It's good.
You're getting me excited.
Heartwarming is probably not the right way to say it. Nick, this is the sort of thing that I'm just happy to be able to share with you, and I hope when we get to the end of this episode that I've shared something with you that you didn't have before. Because you really actually I can't go anymore. I don't want to spoil anything.
I just want you to know that like this whole delivery, like you're a very genuine, earnest person, and I appreciate that. I do feel like there's a good chance that you're messing with me. You're fucking with me,
Nick. You know what? I appreciate that so much, and you know what? Why I appreciate that is because like I am being a little bit silly willy here, but. I'll also say, Nick, I do think at the end of all of this episode, which we're only a minute and a half in right now, I do think at the end of this episode, you'll be like, he actually was telling the truth. He was being good. He's being a good boy. And I feel like I could do that. I feel like I can make this happen.
Good boy. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Good boys up. All right. Hands in. We're going to start the episode.
I'm not gonna say good boys up.
I
can't say good boys up.
Hear it?
I can't.
No.
I can't say no. But like the hands in. If you're gonna say good boys up, like I can't. It's not. I'm not.
Okay, but what can you say? Because I'm hands in right now, Nick. And
you can say a lot of other stuff. You can say like hello and welcome to the.
No. But we gotta go hands in. All right. Put your hand in. I want to hear the hand in, and I'll give you the hands up. Okay. Let's ooze into it, boys.
What? What?
That's our thing.
What are you saying? What is happening?
To the year we started the podcast. It's a podcast where we're using to our intros and such. It's gonna be a long time, but like I was just like the other day, it was like, oh man, it's February, and now it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost March. So thank goodness we're almost a quarter of the way done. But yeah, we're still using into to the intros. I am your co-host, Jeff. Oh my gosh, I lost the script there. My goodness.
I'm Nick, I guess.
You're Nick, I guess. This is our podcast. We talk about some things, and some of those things are things that interest we find fun and interesting to us, despite the fact that we're half a continent apart. My goodness, we need to just do that from the top at some point, but not today, Nick, because we have things to talk about.
What do we have to talk about, Jeff? Tell me what we have to talk about.
How long do you think it's been since the Mars lander has landed on Mars? Yeah. How long has the old?
I have no idea.
You want to take a guess? Over under on 6 months.
Under.
It's been over a year. We hit a year.
Over a year? What?
It's been on Mars for over a year.
on Mars, not
does it not feel that way? Because I can tell you right now. First off, I can tell you right now my levels are really.
I should
really high,
I should know that I'm mixing it up with the telescope.
No, yeah, that's fair, and
which is a sign of how bad I am retaining information.
Yeah, I mean, things landing on Mars and being launched as telescopes are basically the same thing. So I understand how you could get that confused. But no, the Perseverance rover is out doing its thing, and the helicopter that is the thing that I can't remember what it's called, but definitely it's called something. What is it called? I feel bad now. This is why we like to be able to edit things.
I want you to know that like my brain was doing the thing where I was like, its name is Courage. No, not Courage. It's Courage. No, not Courage. Courage?
It's called Ingenuity.
Oh my god.
But no,
I always talk about Perseverance, and you said Perseverance. I was like, oh yeah, not Courage. Perseverance.
But no, so the Mars rover has been on Mars for a year now, which is just wild. Like I remember watching that with my son, and the fact that he's a year older now is just wild to me.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it's very,
it's
very
been a
weird.
big year and a half for space. feel like it's been a lot for space.
It's crazy, yeah, and like not to understate it, because like it's fun to be, just a little bit hyped about the fact that we have a amazing new space telescope that's doing its thing, and that Ingenuity and Perseverance are landed. But like, Perseverance landed February of 2021. We're a year away from that. The Ingenuity helicopter has well extended past like its original mission expectations, which is just so cool. And James Webb, Nick, that's the other thing I wanted to point out here is the James Webb Space Telescope has actually like kind of indicated as to what it's going to be doing. I really hope we get images. It is not like certain whether that's going to be the case, but it is diving deep into some of our closest star systems that we have, like into the areas where we really wouldn't have been able to see anything detailed whatsoever without something like this. And Nick, I don't know. We'll see what it ends up being, but there's so many things that would just blow my mind, and I am so stinking excited. I can't even tell you. Like, if this is anything as close as excited as I am for it, I will be aside myself. I don't know. It's really cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's looking at closer closer star systems first. And I hope we get images this next couple months or so.
That would be awesome. How long has it been since the Hubble Space Telescope launched?
The Hubble?
Oh, sorry, since the Space Telescope
James
launched,
Webb?
Yeah. No, James Webb, yeah, sorry.
James Webb was 3 months ago, I think. Let's see.
See, that's what I thought you were asking me at first, but I'm dumb because I know that I'm
Nick,
sorry.
Hey,
my
Nick,
brain worked.
Hey, hold on. Let me lick my finger and stick it up to the wind. So I said 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So it was December 25th, Christmas Day. So
was it really?
February 25th.
Damn.
I feel pretty good. I mean, that's not too bad.
No, 2 months.
But yeah, so here's the thing. I find the Hubble picture of the deep space thing, which we've talked about on the podcast before, looking into just the things that we thought were empty sky and then having that be the result. The idea of looking really detailed into a star system that we haven't been able to, I find just incredibly exciting. And maybe it'll be nothing, but I just have so much hope that this is going to be like just super cool. And I hope it's super cool discovery after super cool discovery, because there's just so much we don't know, even about near star systems. We're opening up a book of things that we know is going to be interesting, but we have no details about how it happens. It's so cool. Like, it's just so stinking cool.
That's so bizarre. I guess that's like maybe why it's all confusing for me, because I feel like I don't know what to expect, and I live in a world where like there is nothing that can be a surprise. Like, a major event happens and you're like, oh man, so and so got that's going to change this and this. You like know like the implications or the broad strokes, or like oh, this big crazy thing happened in the world, and you're like, damn, that can affect the world these kind of ways. I'm like, I don't know what the hell comes out of this stuff. And I think that's probably why it's like confusing to me and like hard to kind of wrap my head around, because I don't know how, excited to be or how, like what the implications are, because nobody does, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing is I feel like how I'll feel about it is just on the scale of how like ridiculously my mind will be blown or not blown. Like maybe we look at this and it's like, oh, well, this is nothing. Or maybe we look at this and it's like fantastic. But there's no way that we like go through all this process and I'm like, I feel bad about humanity afterwards, which is kind of like how kind of the MO is lately. and like to have that level of unknown of like, yeah, maybe it's nothing. But the upside is that I have one of the most awe-inspiring things that has happened to science in the last 20 years. And that's so exciting. That's sick. Like I'm happy to be able to part of this in the sense that like I've been very inspired by stuff that the Hubble has done, but the Hubble is like, it's ancient technology compared to what we've launched into space just here recently. And I'm very excited for it. I hope that it's something that blows my mind, but worst case scenario, it's just really cool, nuanced science stuff that we figure out. But there's also a good chance that like, we learned a lot about how the world and the universe works, and that's super cool. And
that is very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited, Nick. And anyways, but yes, but the whole thing was also Mars is really cool, and there's lots of cool Mars stuff happening, and Mars stuff is going really, really well. So if James Webb goes half as good as Mars, I'll be happy to too. So there you go. It's been over a year though since stuff has landed on Mars recently.
That's kind of crazy and impressive and very cool. And I am every time we talk about this, I get re-excited for the future.
Thank you, Nick. I'm glad that I can bring some random space stuff to you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we both have a couple things. Do you want to jump into your? I have the tiniest of topics, and it's definitely not whatever it is that you want to talk about. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to talk about it.
Hit me with it.
Okay.
Who cares? And we can edit it out if we don't like it. You know?
Yeah. And this is another thing. It's like, this is just me wanting to talk about this to Nick. Okay, so where are you at with your thoughts on crypto and etc.?
Oh.
This is literally I'm talking because we've chatted about it on the show a little bit. But not we haven't dove deep, and we haven't really expressed anything recently, at least not that I can remember.
So this is hard for me because I am a relatively tech literate person, but crypto is not a technology that I have a cursory understanding of blockchain. I have cursory understanding of some different applications for blockchain and crypto, and for even for technologies like NFT. But both crypto and NFTs feel very much like an asset that doesn't really have value, especially right now that people are shipping off to try to make the next person hold the bag for.
Okay.
And
pause.
let me put
Nick,
this in a nicer,
I'll let you say it. I'll let you say it.
Yeah.
I want you to finish your thought. But you did say the right words that I want to dive into, because oh my gosh, those. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, and then I'll dive into my spiel.
Good.
The whole thing I want to say.
Okay, please. But to say to be honest, I'm not the guy to make that prescription. It's just from my understanding, and I don't want to dive in. I don't want to be, I have friends who are less technologically educated than I am, who are very invested, and I understand that there's a lot of information out there, and I don't want to be invested. I don't have the disposable income to play around with investing in this kind of stuff. I don't have any desire. I don't see any of the value at all anytime soon. So I am the wrong guy to ask, but I am very skeptical, to be honest.
Okay, we'll see if I can articulate my feelings well here. But
please.
I've been kind of around the map on this, but recently I felt particularly strongly, and I think we've gotten to the point where, and again, I'm a person. My job is tech and finance, so you could not pick a more central thing that I think about on a regular basis. I think that where we are at now, we are in pure gambling territory without a lot of the controls that gambling has, which let's say are not many. Here's the thing. The whole idea that you kind of just tossed out there of finding the next person to hold the bag, that's literally where we're at right now. And I have not felt so strongly until the Super Bowl. The number of crypto-ish ads from the Super Bowl were absolutely buck wild. Nick, did you know how many ads they had for the US dollar during the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna guess not many.
Many.
That's another thing.
Not many is synonymous with none. Just to be clear.
So that's another thing. I understand the raising, trying to crowdfund and get investors. However, you don't need to advertise.
No, okay.
You don't have to talk someone into the idea. I can't imagine what it would be like to live in a world without money. So maybe in a world without money, someone would have really struggled to see the value. But I can't imagine that if you told someone hey, we're both gonna take one of these shiny rocks and we can exchange a shiny, instead of figuring out how many loaves of bread to give you for you to help me clear out my garage, we're gonna exchange the shiny rocks, okay? We're gonna figure out a number. And There's a lot of explaining just to get it, and I'm like, right now, it just sounds like you want me to take to make your thing worth more money.
So here's where I'm at with this. The technology behind cryptocurrency, I 100% subscribe to. Let me find the money that I can throw at it. The technology behind it. Yeah. But at this point where we're at, specific types, like how crypto works now, literally it's like being pitched as some sort of replacement for mutual funds or ETFs or etc. Like as investment like just ways that you can make money. And it certainly can be. If you would have invested in crypto before the Super Bowl, you would have made a mint. If you would have invested in crypto in 2013, you would have made a mint. Like, there's no doubt about that part. But my problem, but Nick, okay, here's my thing. Here's my point I wanted to make. Like, seeing all those ads in the Super Bowl, they paid a premium, a ton of money to play those ads in the most expensive way that you possibly can in our current society, to promote the value of a currency that is used to buy things. Yeah. And to me, that is some Orwellian crap right there. Like,
it's very bizarre. I don't like it.
Like that seems like it should be so obviously not how it should work. It's like, Nick, I want to sell you, insert anything here. I just want to make sure that the whole rest of the world happens to also know, so that I can make it as expensive as possible. Also, I plan to make as much money off of the next 3 days as I can. Like, the whole thing, it just, I felt questionable about the whole ecosystem beforehand, and I feel like a 10 out of 10 as a person who works in data and machine learning and etc., and also finance, like that cross section right there. I mean, people do not need to be less protected from their financial exposure. And that is literally what we're diving into, is like, how can we find ways to defraud people more effectively with their money? And that is, to me, we've jumped the shark. This is a very scary, unprecedented road we're going down. Anyways, this is my thesis.
I want to address a point that you made, because I feel like it's a common thing that I hear, and I feel bad because it feels like I'm like indicting people when I say, like, I can't. My friends who are into crypto, and most of these people that I know that are into crypto, are not really people that I'm especially close with. I kind of know them through someone else, and that's why, like, and they're kind of all crypto bros. And I feel bad because I feel like when I express skepticism or hesitancy about crypto, that I'm kind of implying, like, oh, you're doing something wrong or immoral or bad or dumb with money or whatever, right? And that's not what I'm getting at. I'm more talking about the ecosystem and not the individual actors. But the bigger thing is, or at least not the individual actors who are, like, not industry leaders and paying for Super Bowl commercials. Like, if you're an individual actor who bought a Super Bowl commercial, maybe I'm talking about you, but I don't know. So you said that, it's a way to make a mint. It's a way, if you got in 2013. That same logic can apply to a mid-level marketing scheme. I mean, you can tell me how, like how a single mom made a ton of money off of a mid-level marketing scheme, and it helped her out a ton.
And I can share you as many stories about people that have now a bunch of leggings and debt.
Right.
Like,
exactly. And also, the overall trend of that is going to be funneling wealth into people who didn't invest as much to begin with.
And so it's so clear right now, in my opinion. Right. Sorry, I'm having a hard time staying quiet. Keep going.
No, you're completely right. I mean, I don't doubt that, like, people who needed help, or who, like, who invested smartly or who tried to make the most out of the situation or whatever, were able to make money and able to improve their conditions, and hopefully that didn't hurt anyone material. But like, it almost assuredly does, right? Like, almost assuredly you're getting that money just because there is not, like, a specific value being created yet, until it becomes like a useful currency that provides a value over like the dollar. Like, we haven't created any value, and so that, like, transfer of money from somebody else to you is probably coming at somebody's expense just the same way, and it's probably also coming disproportionately at the expense of an average person who just like invests $100 here or there, to people who like, I mean, there's people who are billionaires off of crypto. That's not like a feel good story to me of like, oh, well, a bunch of people are at $100, and also this 30-year-old who got a ton of Bitcoin in 2011 is super rich. He has a yacht with a yacht inside it. It's amazing. Like I don't it's not, and that's the overarching trend. So like I don't think that that argument really holds water, and it's kind of driven me nuts lately because I feel like I've seen it a ton. I've seen a ton of like, but dude, I made a lot of money and it really helped me out. And I'm dope,
like,
but
the whole thing, like, here's where it gets crazy. So like, yes, buying a Super Bowl commercial is crazy. That's super expensive. But you're also correct in saying like people have become ludicrously rich from this whole weird world that we're living in. And here's the thing: those people now, I mean, they can literally. This seems, and probably this happens in things that I'm less familiar with, but like the ability to influence the price of crypto. Like I haven't even looked at it. You know what? I was so disturbed by the whole thing. I haven't even looked. So I want to see Bitcoin price lasts 30 days. Let me Google this. Hold on.
oh god,
Did it have a bump? Maybe it had a bump. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's go last 1 month. Hey, Nick, it had a really big bump around the time the Super Bowl happened. That's crazy.
That's so weird.
Wow,
That's so weird.
how freaking weird that it went from $38K to $45,000. Okay, so that's what I mean. Is like there's a lot of people that made a lot of money from doing this, and they just had the opportunity to make 25% return over the course of a very small amount of time. And so, yeah, 3, 5, 4, whatever $1 million for a Super Bowl ad was a lot, I'm sure. But if your portfolio that you're willing to risk for a small amount of time is literally $1 billion or $500 million or whatever, yeah, that's a pretty good ROI despite that delta there. I mean, and that's where it's just like I feel so gross about this because this is not tied to anything. Like this is tied to like people don't buy things in Bitcoin yet. Like there you can, sure, whatever, but that's not like a real thing. That's a real thing out in the world. There's no like cryptocurrency that is actually used on a day-to-day basis for people on how they purchase things. Like that's not a thing. So it's not tied to the dollar. So it's not tied to value. It's tied to hype. And we're at this point letting people just buy that hype. And that's just, that feels so bad. I feel so like this is gambling right now.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't know, the whole thing. And like, Nick, here's the thing. Like, yeah, it popped around after the Super Bowl to 45K and now it's down to 34K again. Like I just the whole thing is so predictable, and I swear to you, I did not look at this at all.
For somebody who doesn't feel like I have like, you know, tons of money to play around with it. That is so terrifying.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And a 25% or 30% drop in your value on your portfolio, like if that was a thing that you spent any amount of money on, like that's crazy. And I don't know. It's just I have concerns, Nick. It's like it's a thing where now people realize they can influence it with marketing, and that, I mean, we talk about on this show as funny stories in the past, but that's not always the thing that works out super great. So please, just, you know, out there, I know crypto is a really sexy thing, but I just
careful.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And understand the amount of money that you put into that also might be just the amount of money that you put into Texas Hold'em or whatever, because it's a very, very, very unknown volatile thing, for sure. Anyways, this is my thing, and the Super Bowl broke me for sure.
I 100% agree.
But I tell you what, Nick, that the Coinbase ad, you know what I'm talking about?
No, because I didn't watch any Super Bowl commercials this year, and I am very happy with myself about it. And I heard that there are a lot of them, and everyone's like, "Did you see the LeBron one?" And I said, "Nope," and I'm not going to. You can't make me.
Yeah, okay. I do want to show you this to you because I mean, this is why it's so good, and I feel like you'll be able to resonate at least to some extent.
Hit me with it.
There you go. Oh, all right. When you click play on this, do you know what this is? Like,
Okay. So this is the ad that everyone who clicked or went to the QR code and the website crashed, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it crashed, but it's.
Oh, I thought the website couldn't handle the traffic.
It's Coinbase, which is the place where you can buy crypto.
Yes, but the thing that I heard, was like during the Super Bowl when they made this, like I think that they couldn't handle the traffic and so it crashed.
They're that commercial, whoever came up with that idea, they were wicked successful. Like by all metrics. Anyways, but that's funny that it crashed things. That's good. Insane. Did you have the experience of watching like a DVD player screensaver crash into the corner?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I was curious if that was the thing.
And waiting for the something to happen if it went to the corner. No, I knew nothing would happen.
Nothing happened.
You'd always,
Okay, Nick, tell me last thing that you have today, sir. Let's go.
Okay, we're gonna do mine really quick because I think we dragged yours on very fast. And mine isn't that interesting, but I think it goes to show like the dumb ways that we think. Jeff, Jeff, do you ever sleep without a pillow?
Oh man, Nick. No.
Do you ever sleep? No?
No. I mean, I have, and I can't. And here's my thing. Here's the thing. My thing about sleep is I can sleep anywhere, anyhow. Like I could fall asleep any second. Like we could be talking and I could be asleep
and just gone.
And I would be happy. And I would wake up and be like, "Wow, I don't remember sleeping on the floor next to my chair, next to my podcast recording setup." But that's where we are now, and that's fine. But like that would surprise me. But like, yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna have a pillow. I mean, I have to. I think at least one, if not three.
If not three. So. Like, I agree. I obviously sleep with a pillow. I also am a relatively easy person to sleep, or to find sleep. I have a relatively easy time getting myself to sleep. But the reason I say is, like, Jen and I had this conversation where, like, well, did people, like, use, like, leaves and crap before we had technology to mass produce goods and crap? And the answer is there's not a good consistent answer because we still don't have every culture sleeping with pillows, and some places sleep with things that are very different than pillows. And the reason I say some of them are kind of funny or kind of interesting, like there's just headrests that are like, here, I'm sending you this.
I'm so sad. Why do people not know that they can have pillows?
I know.
Oh
Silly people.
Okay, so you've sent me a thing,
or people. It's in Discord.
Yeah.
So like people still sleep with kind of harder materials, just lifting them up.
Fly flip is this?
I agree. People are weird.
Okay. Hold on. We can't. I mean, I will put a actual link in the thing for real this time. For real. What am I looking at, Nick? This is torture. What is this thing?
This is just a headrest. Put your head. It's a headrest.
A headrest. What culture uses this thing?
I think that was an Egyptian one. They are used all over Africa from what I can see online. But here's the problem. There's not a lot when you Google this stuff, when you search this stuff online, one, you get a lot of Quora threads where people don't seem to give like sourced answers. And you also get a lot of pillow companies advertising their pillows to you. There's not a whole lot of like definitive like, here's a scholarly article, or did you ever hear about the pillow scholar who wrote his thesis on pillows in the ancient world? No, there's none of that.
I will say, Nick, the picture you sent me with the actual person using this torture device actually looks much more comfortable than what I had originally pictured.
Right.
So maybe not super soft, but definitely kind of gets that ergonomic feel that I could imagine would be nice.
The other thing you'll find is people using hammocks and beds that aren't that just don't have pillows, that are just like flats, flat, either cushioned or not. And so the real reason I was saying all this is to say, one, we still don't all use pillows, and that's fine. Two, it seems to me like we just used arms, but the more important, people just used arms when they didn't have pillows. And so arms are pillows. That's the important thing. And
arms as pillows, yeah.
Arms as pillows. And 3, like, you kind of gotta, not kind of gotta, I have to remind myself to reframe my like thinking, because I kind of thought of it as like before, in the before times, before people were cultured and smart and had pillows, like, what do they do? And you gotta kind of remember that it's really just like, we have all kinds of different means for dealing with the human experience and, getting through like the minimal ways that we have to create a life. And I don't know, it's just interesting that it's so wildly different even today all over. Like there's just cultures where there's just like nobody uses a pillow. And then there's cultures where it's like, yeah, they use like this wooden thing. And there's like, oh, well, that's just like a wooden block. Like there's like nothing. And like then there's nice headrests that these headrests look like they're at least like fashioned to be the correct shape and height for your head, So like, it was like a little mini exploration into like why am I dumb with my bias, like not biases, but like assumptions that the world works the exact way that I always have had it work.
I feel weird. I feel, yeah. Why y'all's not using pillows? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's. I want to dive into this.
And the answer is, I can't find a good answer, because there's like a whole bunch of like, oh, you should keep your neck straight, and it's like, well, you can do that with your arm. Most people sleep on their side, not on their back. But if you were going to sleep on your back,
we have so many things we need to work through here, Nick. First off,
first question. This is a sleeping podcast. Just so you know, this is our third time with a sleeping topic, and
yeah, we're certified now. You can find our what's the word? The thing?
Licensed? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. License. That's not the word I was going for, but yeah, you can find our license anywhere but Snapchat. Okay, Nick, you use pillow. I'm just not even going to ask. You use pillow, and are you a solo pillow user?
Single pillow.
I want to know more. So pillow. How old is pillow?
Less than a year. I think like usually like right around a year or so I replace it, or I have one now that like I can add stuffing to, and it's a little too soft for me, but whatever. It's still good. It still works.
So you like a little bit more of a firmer pillow as opposed to super soft? Okay.
I do. What's your pillow stitch on the firmness scale?
Firmness scale, I like where would you put yours? Like, how would you describe yours?
Like my ideal one is like not hard, but it's pretty solid. It's hold in shape, not like fluffy. For like an 8.
All right, I'd go with I'd go with hard, with a 9. I want a good solid pillow to lay on. I mean, fair. Honestly, yeah. I like this guy and his like lay it on the. I don't even know what I would describe this as. I like a hard pillow. Here's a problem. I don't know if we've talked about it in the podcast or in person or off the podcast, not in person or what, but I have a pillow problem. Do you know what my pillow problem is, Nick?
What is your pillow problem, Jeff?
Okay, can you close your ears and I tell you, and then I'll just tell you after off air. No, okay.
My ears are closed right now.
Okay.
As opposed to when I have them open.
I have had the same pillow that I use on a daily basis since like middle school or high school, which is like the last 20 years of my life. Is it
like a log? Like how does it retain shape?
It's really struggling at this point, but like it
I can only imagine.
It's like, it's very beat down cottony type stuff in the inside, and the outside of the pillow is like just hanging on to like good enough to keep pillow integrity structure. But like, oh man, it has like the perfect amount of like push in, and I understand that it's a little bit weird, the fact that I've laid on the same pillow since like the bad dark times, but like, I don't know.
That's bizarre.
Okay, thanks.
That's bizarre.
Okay, thanks. There are times where I don't sleep with this pillow.
Like if you're traveling, but that's it.
Sure, or yeah, if I don't want to fall apart. But like it is kind of weird, and I'm sorry, Nick. I told you to close your ears.
Okay. Let's just say this though. That might be like the most sturdy pillow of all time, Jeff. Like that might be like the best pillow.
I know, and that's why I don't like to think about it, because like I said, it's from the bad times. Like that's a long time, Nick. I don't know.
It's a very long time.
It's a very long time. I mean, it's getting increasingly worse. the older we get. And
I would imagine.
I mean, 2005 was a really long time ago. Like a really long time ago, Nick. It's coming up on 20 years ago. And that's a really long time for a thing of cotton. It's a really long time for a thing of cotton. But anyways, so I have a pillow from a really long time ago.
That's like impressive and cool.
Oh yeah, super. I mean, I tell all of my friends how long I've had a pillow. Like that's how cool I think it is. That's like one of the first things we bring up. So I appreciate you acknowledging how cool it is.
Oh my god.
Okay. Man, there's so many sleep things. I think we've probably talked about a lot of random sleep things. So, what any other particularly like we need to cover a topic here? Okay, Let me move on to my last thing. So
let's move on to your thing.
We'll move on to the last thing. This has been a fun experience where I had a thing that we've talked about before for 100%. The thing I originally wanted to talk about was Pogs. Do you know Pogs?
I remember Pogs. I do.
Talked about Pogs. Okay, before we dive into this little weird part of our history as good and proper millennials, did you own Pogs or do you just know about Pogs?
I don't believe I did. I think my sisters did. I think I'm just like a little too young.
I think and that's the thing. It really was like a splash in the pan sort of thing. Cause it was like 2 years that like just took over all the kids of that age, and then it didn't exist.
Right. That's exactly the thing. Is I feel like I remember having like there being a lot around and like, but I don't remember having any. So like, why would that be the case? And the reason is they were very quickly gone, and also my sisters probably had them because they're older.
And let's be honest, completely pointless. Like as far as games go, like my goodness, like you could not have a more basic version. Do you know how Pogs worked? I guess.
No, I do not know how you play with them. I know that you could play with them, but to me, they're just bottle caps, right? Or like they're not even bottle caps, right? They're
I mean, that's kind of the spirit of like the history of it, and we'll talk about it. But the how it worked back in my day was you would have all these different Pogs, which were like little cardboard tiny discs, and then you would have slammers, which would be like the things you would throw on the tiny discs, and you would throw it, and then if they flipped over, you got them, and then if whatever didn't flip over, the other person got to throw their slammer on. You would keep going until there were none left, and you would see who got the most. And if you were playing like hardcore, then like whoever like won the most got to keep them all, like keep theirs that they won, and so yeah, that's like where you played for keeps. Like when you would. Like, honestly, I never really played that sort of thing. Like, even in, like playing trading card games, like Pokemon and stuff like that. Like, there would be, like, there was a version where you could, like, play for keeps. But, like, I certainly never did that because I'm way too, I don't know. I would cry, I'm pretty sure. So
it's fair.
Let's be honest. Like, that's where we were at.
That is way too high of stakes.
Way too high of stakes. We're just having fun.
It's just a friendly game between friends, okay?
And so, Nick, what I wanted to tell you was kind of the history of Pogs, which I'm going to like breeze through super fast because it takes me to another thing.
Into your world,
real quick. So the history of Pogs.
Hit me into your world. I just
hit you right into this world, Nick.
Not hit me with it. Not let me into your world. My brain just does not do it. Just hit me into the world. Okay,
that's
go.
All right. Yeah, no, I feel like that's totally fair. Totally fair. I'll hit you right into this world. So. There was a time where it was not the 90s, and honestly, you know what? I don't even. It's not that good. So I'm gonna like way gloss over a lot of this. Basically, what happened was in Japan in like the 1800s or some odd, like give or take 100 years, there were like the milk caps that were cardboard, and people would play like a version of what we now think of, well, what you all now think of as Pogs. And that's carried over to when a lot of people immigrated over to Japan, or from Japan to the United States, and turned into a thing, and then like kind of evolved into baseball players when it was like before it was like military stuff, and then after the war it turned into not so much polarizing things as things that sell stuff do, and so it turned into like baseball players from Japan. And then it kind of like died out a bit, but like caught a lot of popularity still in Hawaii. And a business person noticed like the potential for that to move to the mainland, and because that was where there were still a lot of Japanese immigrants. And
I just want to really quickly get a thought out in front here, and I'm sorry that it's just a cheap joke, but it is kind of true. Was this only possible pre-internet? I feel like you had to be really bored for a businessman to be like, oh, look at these kids. They really could get into bottle caps. And
yeah.
I mean, feel like this is like not at all possible, like for the future at all.
No.
Just bored-ass kids, right?
No, I mean, there will be digital versions of this for sure. Like where it's just like, of course you could just like capitalize on bored kids, but like, yeah, nowadays this is like equivalent to saying like, all right, I want you guys to all go out back, find some dirt, throw it on each other, and come up with a game with it. Like, I'm sure that'll be good.
Oh, we're gonna play dirt ball. Sick.
Oh, dirt ball. Oh, great. That's so cool. But no,
milk bottle caps. Oh, sick, bro.
I mean, yeah. So, like, what it turned out to be, I mean, more or less was.
Keep going. I'm sorry. I derailed.
Like cardboard milk caps. They played a game that was like not even that dissimilar to like marbles or something like that. Like, it became a thing that was popular in Hawaii, and then became more popular across the U.S. and people found out ways to make money off of it, of course, as you do. And like in the early 90s. And here's my experience with it. So like it got really popular, and I liked sports and stuff. Like this is not surprise. And some of the pogs that you could get were sports things. And so I was like coming up with this whole thing. I wanted to talk about the history of pogs and how that all came to be, and then I wanted to talk about like some of the expensive ones. But Nick, here's the thing that happened when I was doing that research is I remembered a time similar to the time that I was in Pog Fury going through all my Pog collections, trying to like do all the Pog things.
As we do. Yeah.
And I stumbled back upon a memory of something that I feel like is the most Nick and Jeff thing that could possibly ever exist.
Oh, I'm excited.
Ever exist. Do you know, without giving any context, because this is going to become relevant,
okay.
The company that makes games, not the video games of our era, but games in general more broadly. Do you know who Wizards of the Coast are?
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast is the Wizards of the Coast made Magic the Gathering, right? Or owns Magic the Gathering.
They made Magic the Gathering, and they also the same people were the ones that are behind D&D.
Oh, there you go. I should have known that too. But
yeah, some thumbs up across the board as far as nerd culture goes, right?
Right, right.
So, Nick, when I was going through and like thinking through my own Pog experience, and I was thinking like, man, there were lots of NBA things that were happening in my life around that time. And one of those things at the end of the 90s and into the early aughts that I could not possibly place for the life of me. And it ate me up beyond belief. I was trying to find what was this dumb game that we played back either in like late like 1999 or like 2002. Like somewhere in between here. There was a game, Nick, that I think you would really like, and I think you would have. This is the sort of thing like Pogs were a flash in the pan. I feel like this was even more of a flash in the pan. But if there's any chance that you might have it, like this would be the sort of thing.
Okay. Did you find the game? What's the game?
I finally found it, and it's called. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not misremembering this. Yep. Hold on. Yep. Yeah, it's called NBA Showdown. There was a video game by the same name. But do you know NBA Showdown that's not the video game version of this?
Wait, there's a non-video game. Okay, no. I don't think I do.
There is a board game-ish version of this.
What?
Made by Wizards of the Coast, Nick.
What?
It was...
You can play a freaking Wizards of the Coast NBA board game?
It was freaking D&D for NBA. It was...
Oh my god.
Literally... Okay, so here's how it worked. I'll explain. But I do feel like this is so special. So They only had one running of this. Apparently did not sell well enough for them to continue doing it. But Nick, we're talking about Wizards of the Coast. They know us. We're nerds. They get us.
They do.
So what it was, they had a handful of expansion packs, which if you go on eBay, holy cow, I screwed up, Nick. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to any of these cards. Holy frick. Like, I had multiple of these that were like $200 now.
I need you to call up your mom and just be like, I need you to call your mom and say,
oh, these Nick are so gone.
In 1997?
Like, the whole game died. That's the problem. And like, I thought it was nothing. Like, these have been gone for like dang near 2 decades now.
Oh my God.
But it was 2002. This is when this flash happened. And so it was a game where, so it was like a trading card game, similar, honestly, that of like a Magic the Gathering, which I only know like cursory, like the rules and how it all works.
Sure.
This is much watered down, but what it was, like, you could go buy the things, you could do the game, and the game was like you would build a team of 5 people, like 5 NBA players, and they all had different stats, and you would like roll d20s to like figure out how each game went. And there's like, it like lent itself so well to house rules, which is like how I compare it to D&D. So like what I remembered was like they had like the rules like to how to play a game against one another. But we had the same thing where it was like between each game you would roll like a d20 for every player of your 5 that you had drafted, and like you also drafted like a bench as well. And if you rolled like a 1, they would be out for the season. Or if you rolled like a 3, they would be out for like 2 games or something like that. And like, so like we came up with like all the house rules for like how to play an entire season of the NBA. And like, it was literally like D&D, roll D20s, and like you'd have matchups against like the point guards would be matched up against each other and such and stuff like that. And like, so you like try to like find like these advantages. Like you would like start whoever it was against the other team. And
that's so good.
And like, it was literally the nerdiest NBA thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I had not thought about that for literally so long. And I loved it, and I cannot believe it is not still a thing. I cannot believe that somebody has not picked that back up and turned that into something.
Sounds so fun. Sounds so fun.
It was genuinely a blast. I was like 11 years old, and it was so cool. Or I guess I would have been 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old or whatever. But like today, I would play that now, Nick. Like, it was so cool, and like you would have stuff like
I'd play it right now. Like I want to get like a digital version of this and play with you.
One of the cards was like a Kobe Bryant card that now will sell for like $200 or $300. Nick, I don't remember if it was me that had the Kobe Bryant card or somebody else who had the Kobe Bryant card, but like we had the Kobe Bryant card. That was like a thing that we played with, and that was true of like a lot of people. Like, it was like the who's who of 2002, and that was so cool. And it was like a strategic NBA card game nerd stuff. And I wanted to share that with you because I had forgotten about that until I was like thinking of like how nerdy Pogs were and like what that turned into. And Nick, that exact same group of people with Pogs turned into NBA Showdown, something made by Wizards of the Coast. I mean, oh my gosh, what a cool, perfect thing! I don't know.
What a flash of time too. Like I'm messing up the phrase, I know, but like what a moment in time that like. You could never release that in 2022. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely not. No,
that would go nowhere. No kids would be playing NBA Showdown with their friends. You know what I mean? But dude, I'm here for it, and I'm down to play. I want to find a digital version to play with you. It sounds hilarious and amazing.
Well, I do want to let you know, I did talk to Jen and made sure I got the right address, but you do have one coming your way.
Oh,
and I have one coming my way too, and so we'll be playing.
Go. Let's go.
I literally, Nick, I could not buy you a copy of the like little starter deck thing and myself a starter deck thing that we could play virtually, because like I want to play. I like when I was going through and like, and all. Here's the other thing, Nick. I wanted to try to find the rules of like how it worked. It took me so long to like dig up through the Internet Archives. The Internet Wayback Machine, shout out, because like. It does not exist outside of that. Like,
I've never.
It took me so long to find what on earth, because like I started to doubt my sanity. Like, this was a thing that existed.
You're like, are you
but
sure?
Like I knew there was some weird thing. There was dice. And it was dice that were weird that I didn't know what it meant at the same the time back then. And I knew it was NBA stuff. And I knew there was like each player had their stats and it like mattered with how you rolled. And like, I knew it existed, but like, my gosh, you could not find anything. And sure enough, finally found like some article from 15 years ago that was like talking about how they discontinued it. And
it's so hard when you don't know the name of a concept you're looking for, right? Like, it's so hard.
Oh, it's crazy. And the thing, yeah, that's the thing. It's like NBA, like I would love to share like the number of things I Googled, but it wasn't even like I found the article to something where they were talking about how it was discontinued, and somebody was talking about the game, and like linked to some other article that was also
dead and archived. And
it was also archived. Like, thank gosh, because that had all the original rules.
Good.
Literally, also not like in like some really formal thing. It was somebody who didn't even speak English as a first language who was talking about this that like had been translated into like how the actual game worked. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the thing. I finally found it. This is it. So anyways, Nick, we're going to play NBA Showdown, D&D version, whatever the heck.
I am so excited. I'm so excited.
I don't know if we'll turn that to Patreon thing or whatever.
I am disappointed that you said that the stuff is really expensive, because if there are booster packs, I would totally buy booster packs just to surprise you with like, oh, and then I play Kobe freaking Bryant. Like, let's go.
I'm sure you can find booster packs, but it's unlikely that they would be even remotely affordable.
Yeah.
My gift to you is like $14.
Okay. Yeah, it's inappropriate.
But don't worry, I did not spend $200 on a random whim. But okay, well, it's very fun. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it in 20 some odd years, but
your memories are good.
My memories were great, and like the bar's low with you, Nick. I mean, if I can talk about NBA anything for more than 4 seconds, I'm sure I can convince you that it's a good idea to do. So, and especially those years were fun years. I mean,
they were. They were. I'm willing to put my overstimulated ass on hold. And yep.
Well, anyways, we have a Zoom call or FaceTime call of playing some video game. We have a card game to play together. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it should be a fun time. Aside from that, Nick, we also have a Patreon podcast. We're doing great. Look, here's the thing. Nick and I, friends for a long time, talk about things on the show, but also we have another thing. It's like the show between the shows. It's just us talking about...
A little more off the cuff.
A little smaller, a little off the cuff, but it's a good time. Just as this is a good time. It is... something that you can check out between weeks that we release this main show. You can check that out at patreon.com/TaiWasap.
You can also follow us at TaiWasap on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And you can find all of that at TaiWasap.com.
Nick, thank you for potting with me, and I will be tracking certain eBay tracking things to make sure that we find the earliest common denominator as far as time to play this game, because
I'm so excited.
This is 20 years coming, Nick. I'm gonna find...
This isn't fair. You have experience playing. You're gonna kick my ass, but
yeah,
I am very excited.
Amari Stoudemire, like, oh man, he's like so good. I mean, Steve Nash, so good. I mean, the 2002s.
I can't do this. We can't go down this rabbit hole, but Amari shouldn't be in it. 2002? Is Amari in the NBA in 2002? Is he either a rookie or a college player?
Amari Stoudemire, 2002.
I'm going to say high school at this point.
Rookie of the year.
In the season 2002. Okay, drafted in 2002. Damn it, I suck. All right.
Well, so yeah, young rookie Amari Stoudemire in this game. Okay, Nick, take us out.
This has
been. This has been the year that we drafted Amari Stoudemire to the Suns. And we're going to win it all in...
no, they're not.
The NBA...
maybe 20 years later they might, but...
NBA Showdown.
This has been the year we started the podcast. Thank you all for listening.